All right, everybody. So I'm back again with another review. This is the Bay Area's only toy reviewer, Carl, and I'm here with the another DC superpower. Um, this is Captain Cold, also known as Leonard Snart. Some of you may be familiar with Captain Cold from the television series The Flash. Uh, Hopefully, most of you know who he is from the comic book. A little history about Leonard Snart or Captain Cold. He doesn't have any actual powers in this incarnation of him. Later on down the line, he does actually gain meta abilities to be able to control ice, but in this incarnation of him, he does not, in fact, have any powers. What he does have is a cold gun. Now, here's the thing with that. Under normal circumstances, this figure does come with a holster which goes right there, and a gun that fits into his hand. But because I bought this second hand off of another collector, the collector didn't have the gun. So, unfortunately, I had to proxy some other, like, yellow plastic gun to proxy it out for his cold gun. Excuse me. That being said, one of his main attributes is his cold gun. That's his main weapon of choice. His cold gun is something that he sort of designed, sort of didn't design, but he acquired the cold gun, but he knows it in and out. All right, so he can take the gun apart. He can put it back together. He knows the inner workings of how the gun works perfectly. I can't recall whether or not he actually designed the gun, but I know that he has very, very integral knowledge of how the gun works. Now, the way that Captain Cold would phrase it is that his gun doesn't actually freeze things. What it does, it renders something absolute zero. Which means that it's complete stop. It's frozen on a molecular level, like the molecules in whatever it is he shoots completely stops, and it's rendered to zero, thus allowing him to shatter whatever it is that he freezes. His gun can also create things like ice slides, ice walls. He can turn bits of ice into shrapnel with his gun. He can do a variety of different things with his cold gun. Or it's not even called a freeze ray. It's called a cold gun. But he can do a variety of different things with it. And Captain Cold he's one of my favorite rogues. I just like his philosophies on the way he views the world. I like the rules that he sets for the rest of the rogues, where you may have someone like the Joker from Batman, who is pretty much, someone like the Joker or Bane or someone like that, pretty much is an agent of chaos. He actually has rules, and his number one rule for him and his faction, which is known as the Rogues Gallery, is they don't kill heroes. Mainly, Leonard Snart and the rest of the rogues really just do what they do for money. But that being said, Captain Cold does have a very, very dark side, and he's willing to do very dark and sinister things. Though he doesn't, despite the rules that he sets for himself, he still has an incredible dark side to him, even though he is strictly against killing heroes. Now, he doesn't not kill heroes for any noble reasons. That's not what it is. He doesn't kill heroes because if he kills a superhero in the heat of combat, then that means that the other heroes will come for them. So if you kill, like, let's say for example, if he kills Batman in the process of a bank heist, guess who's coming? Superman, the Flash, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. They're all coming. And as good as Captain Cold is with the cold gun, he ain't gonna beat Superman. You know, he's not gonna beat Martian Manhunter. He ain't gonna beat, Green Lantern. But now that we got this little backstory out of the way, let's get into the figure. Now, speaking as far as just like aesthetics, I think this guy looks fantastic. I think he looks great. I think that the color of his suit is good. I think this it's not entirely white, but there's like grayish white. I think that looks great. This toy looks like he stepped right out of the comic book, and I really enjoy the aesthetics of this guy. As far as articulation, let's start at the head. His head does go around 360. It goes down about that much, goes up about that much, because it's hindered a lot by this gimmick here and the gimmick up top, his hood, which looks very, very nice. It's got a gray and white details. The thing that really makes this whole thing pop for me, the one thing, that brings this whole thing together really for me is the face. The face looks just like Scott Kolins drew it. It really does. And Scott Kolins is one of my favorite comic artists, period. Like in general. But it looks like he drew it and they just popped it right onto the figure. But that's really great. His arm does go around 360, but is hindered by his collar gimmick here. But it does go around 360. He's got a bicep swivel. That's the same thing on the other side too. He's got a bicep swivel, single elbow joint, wrist swivel. It's the same thing on the other side. Now his leg, like the Captain Marvel or the Shazam that I reviewed, the Cyclotron 2 and the Commissioner Gordon Batman have that same hip gimmick where it gets you to about there, gets you back to about there, which is not bad. I mean, he's not Spider-Man, so he's not going to be doing anything too drastic. He's got a single knee joint. Also, the lower thigh swivel on both sides. He also has a ankle tilt to get you back about there, forward to about that much. Got a little bit of detail on the bottom. Nothing really on the back. This one's probably going to be short and sweet. But honestly, I like this guy. I mean, I wouldn't have bought him if I didn't like him. He's one of my favorite rogues. If you are a Flash fan and you are trying to create a Flash Rogues gallery out of the few Captain Cold figures that I've seen, as far as articulation wise, he's very good, in my opinion. Not the best, but he's very good. Like I said, he's not Spider-Man. He's not going to be doing anything too dynamic or too drastic. Even in the comic books, that wasn't the case. But if you are taking on the daunting task of trying to create a Flash Rogues gallery for a shelf or for photography, so that way, if you do have a Flash figure, you have a Captain Cold amongst the other rogues, I highly recommend this guy. I really do. I like him a lot. The articulation is good. Oh yeah, by the way, he does have a abdominal hinge that gets you back to about there and forward to about there, which is really, really nice. Oh yeah, I believe he also has a waist swivel too. It gets you around 360. But all in all, I think he looks great. He looks like he just stepped right out of the comic book, and the detailings look good. The color of his suit looks the way it's supposed to. So, without any further ado, this is the Bay Area's only toy reviewer, Carl, and I'll see you next time.